on the one hand, that's a very therapeutic, healing thing to do. But on the other hand, in terms of putting it out there for the world to see, you've got to think, what message do you want to send everybody? Is it that you...
To send out into the world.
Is it that you are struggling and that you are lost? And on the one hand, it's good to be honest about that, because everyone is at many points in their life. But I always say everyone has their own script. So why is it so important that I tell everybody that I'm having a hard time when everybody else in the room is probably having a harder time?
It's true.
And I find it slightly ignorant, whereas I'm now sort of thinking, okay, so if we acknowledge the fact that everyone has their own script, everyone is struggling in one way or another, or in more ways than I could ever imagine or ever comprehend or ever understand. Yeah. Okay, so what can I do to tell people that is going to give them hope? What can I do to nourish them, to nourish their soul? Yeah. And that's sort of what I'm looking more to put out into the world. Not, I'm a young lost woman who is experiencing heartache for the first time, who's, all of these sort of things. It's so easy to write a song when you're down in the dumps. It's like the easiest thing to do.
Big up Adele, big up Mary J. Blige, big up Adele.
There is nothing more appealing to me than making a great record or a great track and it just reaching the radio, charting well, people listening to it on their Spotify, and then eventually being able to play it live to a big audience. I mean, social media is just not... I'm on it because you kind of have to be if you want to keep up in this society. But for me, I think that people use music on social media to facilitate their own content creation rather than just... So it's distracting.
Yeah.
So it's like, this is the background song, so people aren't fully connecting with the music.
Yeah.
It's just like in the background.
Yeah.
And facilitate something else. Yeah, and that takes not just working on your skill or your instrument or your music. That means actually working on yourself.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Self-development is also important.
I mean, there's songs that I wrote when I was 18, 19, and at the time I thought they were like the best thing ever that I had done. And then now I look back and I'm like, oh.
Did you ever release any of those songs?
No. See, that's the thing. Because I'm like, oh, that's so cute.
Yeah.
And I look back at those songs and I think, the groundwork was there and the idea and the spirit was there, but the concept of me as an artist wasn't there yet.
Wasn't developed yet.
And I think that when you're young, a lot of the time you're going through really hard times for the first time and you don't know what to do with these emotions. And if music is a creative outlet for you, then you'll often use it to kind of project those negative emotions into something.
Absolutely bang on, man. And music that's coming out anyway.
Yeah, well, you have to know who you are as an artist.
Absolutely.
And that takes time. And, I've just turned 24 and a lot of people would say that in showbiz that's 34.
Yeah.
But in my opinion, I don't want to put everything out there when I don't know who I am as an artist yet.
I love that.
Because I think one thing that is really beautiful... I think even in like Jamaican culture, even at funerals, they have the most happy, uplifting, beautiful music.
Yes, music, drinking,
it is incredible.
Celebration.
But and for some reason, Westerners can't do that. They've just got way too much to complain about.
Hey.
But yeah, but I think that saying, how can I put this? Okay, so I think a lot of the time we focus on things that make us feel better, but we don't focus enough on the feel part of that. So it's not always about making you feel better, it's about making you feel. And doing music or making music that provokes that feel aspect of it generates the feel better aspect of it. Wow.
Tell them, Susannah.
Yeah.
Tell them.
So it's definitely about tapping into those difficult emotions that we all deal with, but also having the courage to look past that slightly and just move slightly beyond that to say, but it's fine.
It's fine.
It's fine. Yeah.
Music, like, what do you love most about being a music artist in general?
I think that.
Let me just continue talking.
So I think that the main thing is considering it like a puzzle, and it is the most rewarding thing when you find you overturn a piece of a puzzle.
Yes.
And you can see the edge of a piece of a puzzle, and then the rewarding thing of turning over the other pieces of the puzzle and eventually putting it to fit together. That is the most thrilling and exciting experience that I could ever imagine. And hey mate, no, it comes and goes at random times. So sometimes I won't write anything for a month.
Okay.
Other times I'll write 2 in one day. And the best ones, you know when they're good straight away.
Okay.
I think as an artist, you've got to not be afraid of.
Yes.
Just because you wrote it doesn't mean you can't go. Shh.
One of them ones.
And
do you ever have?
That's okay.
Because even
but
when
you know when it's good.
Yeah.
Because you get the feeling, and you write it, and the best things I've written in about 20, 30 minutes.
Yes.
You know what I mean? So. And that's when you know it's good, and it's a gut feeling, okay, I've just written a good one.
Yeah.
But then other times you're writing for the sake of engaging in the exercise of being creative, but it's okay to screw it up and put it in a box.
Yeah.
And, some ideas just, they might be all right. You've created them right from scratch, but it doesn't mean that they're you, and doesn't mean that they're meant to be part of your repertoire.
And even like you see what right now, like what has been like your favorite song that you've written, and you're like, you know what, once more people get to hear this, or once the world get to hear this, like obviously not even just going viral or whatever, but you see that, like how we said, some songs you make them and you're like, you know what, you feel it, like it's gonna do something, like if you get what I'm trying to say. So it's like for you, what's that if you've got one, that song is that song that we like, this is what we want from you, we want, like we want you to share, your journey, your growth. You got what I'm trying to say? What would you say to them kind of people?
So I'm certainly one of those people. All of my lyrics are very, very honest.
Love it.
I don't hold back. In fact, sometimes I'm like, oh gosh, does this sound absolutely pathetic? Because I've just been so honest here.
Susannah!
But like, I think the thing is that putting a spin on it.
Yeah.
It's like what we said about being in the airport, and you're in this shit situation, but you're making it funny, you're making it hopeful, you're making it joyful.
Yeah.
It's not lying about
the situation.
Being the situation, or it's not misleading people to think that you don't have the same negative life experiences that everyone else has. It's about being honest about those, but putting a spin on it that's to say, yeah, I'm here again. But it's all good.
It's all good.
We've been here before.
I've messed with that. I actually fuck with that. I get exactly where you're coming from. Yeah.